Almost midway point of the season. So uh, the regular season, I'm counting this as sort of after this is the second half of this season. So this is the wrap up of the first half. We should have gotten ourselves in a good spot to at this point so that we know who we are, and then this will be a big test to see if we're right, if our thought of who we are and who we could be is accurate. So, and really excited to have Alabama coming into Neville Arena. It's possibly probably the best atmosphere in definitely in college gymnastics, but it's quite the event. So just really looking forward to it and seeing how we hold up.
Does it help? I mean, do you think it could help any that you guys have did the quad with them earlier? I mean, is it? I mean, obviously you guys don't try to focus on who's against you, and nobody's playing defense or anything, but it's just that they're over there and we've seen them before. Does that help at all?
I don't know if it helps as much as we needed that. The month of January, I think we woke up to who we could be and possibly started raising our own standards a little bit. I think we all had this hunch that we were capable of being really good, but to go up against a bunch of teams and Alabama being one of them early, and to look around and go, actually, we're better than we thought we might be. So I think that a young team, a new team, a lot of new people, and a lot of experienced people in new positions, sometimes you just need that confirmation that your belief is correct. So I think, yeah, probably helps a little bit, but in the end, they've got their things they've got to conquer, and we've got our things that we got to conquer. And I think I'd rather us be conquering our things, and they can go ahead and wait another week to conquer theirs.
Have you just what have you seen out of? It's still early in the week, but out of your gymnasts, what do you see out of them? I mean, obviously you think they'll have the juice on Friday. I mean, what
Yeah,
have
you
you
can't
seen? How
you you can't show up to this meet and not have the juice. That's not going to be the problem. Um, it's just to me, it's just going to be about staying focused. We put in a tremendous amount of work last week. We changed a lot of things. We got a lot more mentally tough in our practices, and I think it paid off. And you know, we don't need a lot of work to be really good. We need to believe that we're capable of it, and we need to trust in each other. And that's a process that you got to be there Friday night. It's all going to come down to can we stay in our bubble and stay focused on us and do a good job. And yeah, we're ready. If we're healthy and we have the right people available to us, we're ready to beat anybody in the country. We just got to get our acting gear.
Yeah, last week you talked a lot about doing a lot of like simulating pressure. Have you guys have so success and you moved on from that and are you going
Uh,
back to
no, I think it just challenged us to see where our deficiencies were, and if your deficiency is a little bit in you have a lot of new people around in different positions, and you got to start trusting each other, then that practice has to mimic that a little bit. So we're not going to get away from it as much as we need to continue to adapt and grow. So yeah, I like what we've done. It's just midway point of the season. People are sick and tired and beat up, and now it's a lot about mental toughness.
is Hannah Hagel? I mean, I don't know. If it was basketball, I'd say she's a great six man, right? Like,
Hmm.
how just where is she at? Or you just got to tell her like hey, Cassie and Aria are gonna be gone soon. Like, or is she gonna be an available person that you play late in the season?
Yeah, um, she she's available now. I mean, uh, she's went through some growing pains early, but we all have, and um, I think her team has confidence in her. I think she's starting to see that she can have confidence in herself. But I mean, as both Olivia said earlier, the competition on this team is really good. Nobody's safe. Uh, we need to be able to pull the trigger on anybody. If you get to that point, then what happened last Friday, where we pulled Juju from the lineup, we shouldn't see much of a drop off. We should be confident that we're going to be able to compete. That's the mark of a great team, and that's Hannah stepped right into that role and did what we asked her to do, and really no drop off. So I'm happy with where she is at this point, but you know my goal is to replace her, and her goal is to not be replaced.
Yeah. Is floor? I guess is that where you guys would be most comfortable and deepest, or might that be beam?
Floor has probably got the most accessible routines at our disposal right
Okay.
now. Beam is close. Beam has a lot of routines that we can turn to, but I still think the other three events they're still jockeying for position a little bit. The alternates are still looking to somebody's got to step up. Uh, I do think floor we saw Sarah Hubbard and um, Hannah both step forward and show what they can do in a pressure situation when necessary. And Paige stepped in and warmed up. So we might be 9 deep on floor, but the other ones, the other events, people still need to show that they're that. They need to confirm our suspicion that they're good.
And
Trust but verify.
yeah, right. And on bars, just like where how much better can you guys get? Because like you said, yeah, you guys had the 493 in Vegas, and that was without Liv. What do you think that could be? A top 10 event for you
We
guys?
have a lot of room left for growth on bars. That bar set was a confidence set. I think people showed that last Friday that we were more predictable. We started to have confidence in ourselves, but we did not execute like we do in practice. That was not up to our standards. Each girl would probably say there was a couple of things they could do better. So the growth on bars is immense. We have a lot of room for improvement on most of our events. I think floor's got the least amount of room for improvement, but you want consistency at that point. Beam is now really starting to settle down and show us a really good predictable lineup. So vault and bar's got to step up.
So what do you want this week? Like you say, you want to be predictable. I mean, do you want them to go out and score as high as you can, and then is there any evaluation after this, or since it's the second half of the season, is
We
it?
get look. I don't know who the judges are, um, and I don't know what they're going to score us. So I really don't care. I know that people don't think that, but I have to feel after Friday night, and I think they all have to feel after Friday night that the lineup is starting to look predictable, that they're building off of each other, that we're getting our systems down. If we're doing that, what I think we've seen is we're going to beat most of the teams that we go up against on any given night if we can actually get in our system. Our problem is we've only figured our system out about 50% right now. Bars took a huge step last Friday. That would be three events that are starting to settle down, and then Vault has been really relatively predictable, but we're sort of underperforming a little bit. We still got another tenth on Vault, so yeah. I don't really care. I don't, I don't know if you should print that, but um, I want to win. I want to score high, but I don't get to control that outcome. What I get to control is have we trained correctly, and they get to control their performance. And if they control their performance and how they operate as a group of six on each event, we're in good shape.
Um, I gotta ask you about Shoemaker. She finally got stayed on her feet again last week. What have what were those 2 weeks like for her? What were some of the conversations you had with her? And
I had some quite public conversations with her. The whole team knew what I was saying to her every day. So I was trying to be her worst enemy because I think she was trying way too hard to be perfect, and um, the pressure is real here. It it is as soon as you step up and do something special, the immense amount of pressure they put on themselves. I can't even describe it. It's way more than everybody else would put on them. So it's a matter of just calming down. So yeah, I was just trying to get her to understand she doesn't have to stick every vault after that. That 9-9 is could be a curse if you compare yourself to that from now on. But just go out and do a good vault and settle down and get back into your process. So yeah, that's really what it was, is trying to push her back into an actual process, and sometimes that's uncomfortable in practice.
yeah, on this. She's on TV.
She
This
got
is
an interview from you guys, so
yeah.
that means I guess that makes it different. I don't understand. Doesn't make it different for me. I'd like to not do interviews.
So, is that anything she shared with you of like pressure and just being in the SEC and maybe how do you try to deal with that with her?
I don't think it's that. I really
Okay.
think it's it's her teammates. I think once you do something and you know you can add value to the girls around you, I think that's a load of pressure that people don't quantify. Um, it's about settling down and knowing that you can that we've talked a lot about this. If you're performing at your average, you're adding value and you're going to feel like you're adding to the equation, and it'll allow you to step up in moments that you need to step up. If you are mandating yourself to be the best that you could possibly be every time that you're out there, you're subjecting yourself and the girls around you to a real stressful situation. So it's just a matter of shifting the focus. She's in a really good spot. Look, the SEC, you're on TV a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of media around you. That it's all good stuff, but it just clutters your mind from what's actually important. And what's actually important is you and your approach and the people around you.
So the bigger problem was she was chasing the 9-9, pretty much.
I think the biggest problem is when you are that successful early in the season, you try to duplicate that success and you think you can, but it isn't what got you there. What got you there is let's just get through this practice. Let's just get through the meet. Let's figure out my system. And all of a sudden, you throw all that stuff out the window and focus on different things. Yeah, I think it was possibly a curse for a couple of weeks.
Last thing I wanted to talk about is Sophia obviously bounced back big last week, and we came in here and we talked a lot about her mental approach and mentality, and just I guess to see an upperclassman, how important is that for especially new people and younger people to see? Here's this upperclassman who had a bad trip at Arkansas, talked about this is what I'm going to do, and then did it. I mean, that's exactly what you want, right?
Yeah, how, if you can demonstrate, you can have your people demonstrate it. Talking about it doesn't do a whole lot of good. So just the fact that she can demonstrate it, it's how you bounce back. And she went from one of her best meets to one of her worst meets, now back to a really good meet. Uh, the goal is that everybody's had the ability to. We all pick each other up, but we got to get to a point where we're done picking each other up somewhere around this Friday, and now everybody, all six are hitting, and all six are in a good spot so that we can start building off each other. So she just added to the equation. She was proof that no matter how good you are, you can mess up and you can have a struggle night. And she bounced back just fine.